It's always exciting when you get that notification that you got a new message from a dating app. But then the questions start. What do I say? How do I respond? And maybe the biggest one of them all, how fast should I respond? Today, we're going to answer that question for you once and for all, and we'll back it up with some data. Let's get into it. Before we answer the question, it's important to understand why this all matters. The reason is because perception is reality in online dating. If you respond too quickly to a message, you might seem desperate or overeager. If you respond too slowly, you might show that you're not interested. And it doesn't matter if these statements are true or not. This is how someone you've just started talking to might perceive what is happening, which makes it important. With that out of the way, let's get into the data and answer this question. According to a 2024 study from the dating app Hinge, matches where the first message was responded to in under 24 hours were 72% more likely to result in an in-person date. So we should just respond to every message in under 24 hours no matter what, right? Not so fast. Here are some nuances to consider, and don't worry, we will thoroughly answer the question of how fast to respond in just a moment. But before that, here's what's important. First, this data is only from one dating app. There are literally hundreds of dating apps out there, and things like casual versus serious will play a big role in the data. As Hinge services both of these areas, the data may be more important for apps that do the same, but not so much for apps that focus solely on serious relationships. Second, we don't know the quality of the dates produced. It is entirely possible that faster responses may lead to more in-person dates, but they may be much lower quality. And third, Hinge uses more of a chat-style messaging platform, which is different than the dating apps where you send messages that more closely resemble emails. Here's the difference. Chatting is when you're more in like a text messaging type situation. Your messages will look more like chat bubbles. Messaging is when you are sending notes back and forth, and again, feels more like you're sending an email. In general, the chat style is more popular, but you see the messaging style more on serious dating apps. What does this have to do with how fast you should respond to messages? When you are using a chat style app, responding quicker usually makes more sense. When you are using a messaging style app, it's okay to take things a little slower and be more calculated with your responses. Now, with that all said, here are 3 tips to help you decide how quickly to respond. And real quick, if you're enjoying this content and you want to support the channel, take 2 seconds to hit the like and subscribe button. It does so much for us, and it makes sure you won't miss out on any great relationship advice content. Thank you. Let's get back to the video. Number 1, mirror your match. If they take a few days to respond and then you respond in 30 seconds every single time, it's going to give off the perception that you might be desperate, even if that's not the case. On the other hand, if they respond quickly every time and you take a week to respond, you will give off the perception that you're not interested. Again, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. Number 2, consider the time of day. Remember, perception is reality when it comes to online dating. If you only respond to messages at 3 o'clock in the morning, someone might assume that you're a party animal and you're out all night. Even if the reason for responding at that time is that you work late or you get up super early, you have to think about how it will be perceived. The best advice with this when it comes to time of day is to respond between around 8 a.m. and around 8 p.m. at the latest. And for the record, we didn't just make up these times. We pulled this data from Edison Research about the average times that people are awake. Number 3, consider if it is a new match or someone you've been talking to for a while. Don't overthink this, but here are a few guidelines to consider. If it's a new match, be more careful about responding too quickly and seeming overeager. If it's an older match or someone you've been talking to for a while, be more careful about responding too slowly and showing disinterest. So, how long should you take to respond to a message? If you need a hard and fast rule, wait at least a few hours for the first few messages you exchange back and forth, unless they are responding quickly. And make sure you're not taking more than a week with a brand new match or more than a few days with an existing match. From there, just adjust according to the tips we shared. That's all we have for you today. Again, if you're enjoying this content and you want to support the channel, take 2 seconds to hit the like and subscribe button. It does so much for us, and it makes sure you won't miss out on any great relationship advice content. Thanks, and have a great day.